throughout this week, we can say that, the whole world, not just Africa, this week found Cameroonians looking all around for their president everywhere. And while searching, all they could find were threats instead of answers. Threats from the Minister of Interior, Tanganji, Laurent Esso, Gregory Awona. These men banned and bullied any form of talk, discussion about their missing president. And so, instead of finding answers, Cameroonians found threats instead. But then, the ban on TV and radio debate about President Biya's health, along with monitoring of social media comments, has sparked outrage among Cameroonians. It's understandable that citizens are concerned about their president's well-being, especially given their country's ongoing challenges, including the war in southern Cameroon. We can go ahead to say this Paul Biya's regime recent ban on debates and commentaries about the president's health is a grave reminder of the country's stifling of free speech and democratic principles. And they are doing this by attempting to control the narrative surrounding Biya's well-being. The government is essentially clutching its straws to maintain a fragile grip on power. This desperate move is a classic symptom of a collapsing regime where leaders prioritize maintaining an illusion of control over addressing the genuine concerns of their citizens. The Cameroonian people have every right to be worried about their president's health, especially given his advanced age and prolonged absence. So the government's heavy-handed response only fuels speculation and anxiety, which highlights the regime's growing barbarism and disregard for human rights. It's astonishing that instead of addressing the people's concern directly, Biya's ministers are busy churning out letters insisting that their leader is alive and healthy. To prove it. Oh well. So we want to ask, are they aware of the consequences of silencing dissent? Maybe they are not, so let's talk about it. Erosion of trust. By suppressing free speech, the government has undermined its own legitimacy and credibility. How about increased unrest? By silencing dissent, it can lead to widespread frustration, potentially sparking social unrest and instability. Should we talk about democracy? These actions undermine the fundamental principle of democracy where citizens have the right to express themselves and hold leaders accountable. We would think that it is high time for Paul Biya to address his people directly, rather than relying on propaganda and censorship. What this means is that the Cameroonian people deserve transparency, accountability, and genuine leadership, not a regime that prioritizes maintaining power over serving the nation's interests.